What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf Al Saned, and today, guys, I want to review the 2015 French drama Les Anarchistes, which stars Tahar Rahim and Adele Exarchopolous, two of my favorite actors of all time. And guys, I've been waiting for a very long time for this movie, Les Anarchistes, as well as Qui Vie, I think that's how you say it in French. Two movies that stars Adele Exarchopolous, as well as two Algerian actors in Tahar Rahim and Rida Katib. And these two movies, guys, are my most anticipated because I love Adele Exarchopolous. After seeing her in the 2013 romance drama or love story, La Vie d'Adele, Chapter 1 et 2, also known as Blues Warmest Color, I've been wanting to see Adele in another movie for a very long time, and she is a gift in cinema, guys. She really is. Now, the story of Les Anarchistes, or the Anarchists, it tells the story of a young man named Jean Albertini, who is a police constable who goes undercover as a worker and is given an assignment to infiltrate a anarchist group in which he is recruited by one of the heads of this anarchist group that consists of young people, and that man is he's Elysée, and Elysée takes a strong liking to Jean after he helps him out in a bar fight after the police involve themselves in one of the anarchist group's discussions or their speech givings, and Jean grows closer with the anarchist members. They include Elysée, Eugene, and Marie-Louise, and as well as Judith, I think that's how you say in French, Judith, who's played by Adele Exarchopolous herself. And as the film goes on, Tahar Rahim's character, Jean Albertini, grows closer and closer with each member. He not only sympathizes with them, but he also empathizes with their situation and their hatred for the government and how they're being oppressed, especially at a time which was 1899, in which all the laws was restricting people, specifically the minority groups and people who are underclass, below the rich, and how they're being restricted from their rights. They're not being paid enough, and they're being oppressed basically, and how they have to either live off of work which they don't get much pay, beg for money, or they have to steal. And this was the kind of life they live. The rich, they flourish, and the poor, they either die in the gutter or they just have to survive. And there was no such thing as living in this time. There was only survival of the fittest. And the fact is, guys, I actually sympathize with these anarchist group. Now, a lot of these members of the anarchist group, each of them have their own dreams and hopes. Example, Marie-Louise wants to be a writer, even though she's also a painter. Or like Judith wants to also be, she's an aspiring artist herself. And you have Eugene, who wants to start a new life with this girl he met. Each of these people do have their hopes and dreams, and they do want to accomplish more, but the fact that they're living in this kind of oppressed society, it's obvious that they can't get anywhere, especially with staying quiet or being, as they say, the quote-unquote honest working people, and it doesn't do anything for them. And this whole film takes place in Paris, France, and I really do love the story, especially how Jean Albertini and Judith, they build a bond with each other. They start to fall in love, and the fact that Jean is being forced by his employer at the police department to investigate this anarchist group and collect every info he can about them and their their activities, it's very hard on him, especially when he starts to sympathize with each member, especially Judith and Elise, and it's a huge burden on him when he starts falling in love with Judith, and how he respects Elise. This entire movie is not so much about the Anarchist group and their activities, which it doesn't involve that much murder or or theft. Now there's definitely theft, but there hasn't really been any murder in the movie, at least from their side, because the Anarchists aren't so much a group that cause acts of terrorism. They're more a group that are fighting for what they believe in. They're fighting the same way freedom fighters fight to make a statement. They will never be heard by words alone, talking. No, they won't. They have to make their words louder, and in order to do that, they have to let their actions speak. They have to be more aggressive, more ruthless, and that's the only way you can get the authorities' attention, letting them know that we are tired of this shit. And this is the kind of movie, guys, that I really do appreciate and love, because it's that kind of story that is very provocative in its subject matter, especially when you're dealing with an anarchist group, and it involves this young man who's on both sides, and how he falls in love with this particular girl, and how each members he gets to know and connect with. And this movie does touch on a part of France's past history that shouldn't be forgotten, and something that I really do appreciate, especially the way the story is written, the dialogue, which is really good, the characters' interaction with each other, and I particularly love the chemistry between Adele Exarchopolous and Tahar Rahim. I also like how Jean and Elise bond with each other, and how he sees their point of view on why they do what they do. Now they are sometimes doing things that are unacceptable and they are inhumane, but they do it for a purpose. It's not so much to take joy out of it. No, they don't. They are in all sense of the word, the underdog, and how they can't just sit by and let these rich folks dictate how they should live their lives or when they should live or die. It's not the kind of life you want to have for your children and their children's children. It's just a horrible lifestyle, you know. But this movie, it's just so amazing, and I really do love the actors, every one of them, and especially Adele Exarchopolous, who, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I have a huge crush on her. She is one of those actresses in Hollywood, or just actresses in the world in general, who I've fallen in love with greatly, the same way I have with Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Denzel Washington. Adele Exarchopolous is the future, guys. She really is. And I highly recommend you to watch this movie. It has a very limited release, especially being a foreign film from France. But if you do get a chance to see it, either on Netflix, if it's available, or any way online, or if it's in your nearby theater, please do check it out. It's a great movie, and it needs your support. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more from me, then please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my gaming channel where I do gaming content and Let's Play series. And until next time, peace out, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.